Welcome to Mamava. You probably recognize me, Annie, coming here from the Mamava headquarters. My usual partner in crime, Nikki, is out selling Mamavas on the road. So she's not here with me today, but I do have a lovely special guest who we're incredibly excited about, Sally MacFadyen. And I'll let Sally introduce herself.
Okay, I'm Sally MacFadyen, and I'm a lactation consultant, and I started out as a mother of two boys and got involved with La Leche League, which is a breastfeeding organization for moms. It's totally free, which is excellent, a good support for each other. And then became a childbirth educator, a doula, and a lactation consultant.
Yes, and I took Sally's breastfeeding class about a month before my daughter was born. Mamava is actually now partnered with La Leche League, so it's really exciting to have someone that, grew her breastfeeding childbirth educator roots with that amazing organization. We love them. Mm-hmm. But what we're talking about today, Nikki and I can spout out for hours about our breastfeeding experience, but we don't have the expertise necessarily to always answer the questions that you have. So what we'd love is, we've gotten a few that were submitted through Facebook, but we'd love to be able to get your live questions and have Sally, an actual board certified lactation consultant, give you the answers to your most burning questions when it comes. And today we actually have a really incredible giveaway. We always have something super exciting, but this is this new company called Nano Bebe. And they are offering this kit here. So this is the newborn starter kit. And it comes with a variety of feeding products for breastfeeding moms. It includes their bottle, which is the first bottle designed specifically to preserve the nutrients in breast milk. So you get breast milk bottles, there are pump adapters so that they can work with whatever pump you're using, a smart warming bowl, 4 storage caps, slow flow nipples and travel covers, and some pacifiers. So it's a really all-in-one kit here. Great for a baby shower if you're going to one, so you don't necessarily have to be bottle feeding to enter to win this if you have any burning questions, or great for you to just keep for yourself, kind of checking an item off the list of your registry. So that'll be given away, just commenting on here to get us started. So I'm going to start asking a few questions for Sally here. One of the ones submitted from our audience. So big generic question here. What are some of the biggest challenges you see, or what would you say is one of the biggest challenges you see as childbirth, as a lactation consultant for new moms? What do you say crops up the most?
I would say the biggest problem or the biggest challenge is sorting through the plethora of information that moms get from good sources, from a trusted care provider, friends and relatives. Everybody means well, but it's not one size fits all. What works for one mom may not work for another. So the good thing is, babies come into the world with they come in to the world, and we have to get to know them and figure them out and see what their temperament's like, and see how they sleep and how they soothe, and basically it's living is an art, and so is breastfeeding, sleeping, and caring for a baby. Yeah. So we need to figure out these little ones, and they're really sturdy. They're much sturdier than we think, and and they're forgiving. So you just kind of work your way through it and find your best way is the most important. Yeah,
and so are you kind of telling me also mom should maybe avoid the 3 a.m. Google? Maybe that's not the best source of advice.
I know. Well, you know what? I have found that a lot of moms are connecting with one another in the middle of the night, which is really sweet. Yeah. So trying to connect mothers is another thing that is really important to me.
Huge.
Because we're not meant to do this alone. Mm-hmm. And to chat with somebody in the middle of the night, know you're not alone. It's restorative in some way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nikki, my usual partner in crime, had Sally as her lactation consultant when she had Asher, and I'm maybe back with Addie too. Mm-hmm. But definitely with Asher, there was a little more going on with that baby. And she always said to me that lactation consultants and those online forums are almost the replacement for the village you used to have in your home, right? You used to live with your mom, your grandmother used to, maybe you were down the street from your sister or an aunt or someone who would have shown you how to do it.
Exactly.
You know, and there was that proximity and that sort of knit nuclear family. And now we have, fortunately, people that choose to specialize in it for a living. So we've maybe lost the nuclear family all under one roof, or extended nuclear family. But we've got people who have stepped up and done it for us.
After I step out, like, I can help people with specific problems, but I do try to encourage moms to get together and talk, because they're the experts. They know, they're doing this day in and day out. They're living it. So it's a good point.
Absolutely. So I love Annie, or Ani, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, just joined, and she asked specifically Tandem nursing advice. So have you handled a lot of twin babies?
I have, yeah, twin babies. It's amazing that people can do it. We have 2 breasts, so and generally speaking, it's funny. A lot of times people say they have like the power breast, and then they have the soother breast. And some people, you know, symmetrical looking breasts and could have completely different glandular tissue content in each one. So one important thing is make sure that you're switching the babies. And obviously the football hold is the easiest initially. 2 good feather pillows or 2 good down pillows I like the best, because you can kind of squish them up where you need to, puff them up and squish them down, and get those 2 babies. But, you know, some moms do find that it's overstimulating to breastfeed 2 babies at the same time. And so cut yourself slack. If things feel like too much, one baby can be cuddled and given a bottle, and the other baby can be breastfed at a time. And there might be times when practicality makes, you know, it's more practical to breastfeed them both at the same time, so you have time to do other things. But that's...
I think that's great. No, I actually found the same thing, like feather pillows, being able to smash them around for a specific hold, though those breastfeeding ones, I found for the baby falling asleep, like having that little donut around you was helpful. But I feel like you could manhandle the feather pillows so much better than the like fixed donut ones. So a couple questions we get from moms that wrote in. What can partners, families, friends do to support a breastfeeding mom? What is that advice? I went to the breastfeeding class, so I kind of know. But what do you give to that partner? Okay,
the best advice I would say is ask the mother what she needs. Ask her what she wants. What will be helpful, because very often you have no idea what's going to be good. If you may need a little bit of a break, you may want to just keep that baby with you and let people do things for you. So I would recommend taking a little time with your partner, sit down, prioritize what are the most important things. What makes me crazy when it's not done? What makes you crazy when it's not done? And then put that on the list, and when someone says, what can I do for you? You can say, this is it, you know, and you don't have to think about it.
Absolutely.
So,
I 100% agree. Yeah, with my husband, it was always having the full water bottle, and then he did an incredible job of setting up kind of what we called a nursing station. And it had the water bottle, it had a couple snacks, it had chargers, you know, so that I could have a phone plugged in if she fell asleep, and then I could have something to do. Make sure the remote's near you, so if you get that like few hours while she's asleep and you can actually watch Netflix, that's pretty nice. And then I had a girlfriend actually say to me once, you know, judge on the mom. And I love, not every mom will be like, here's my list necessarily when you come over, but get the vibe. Do they want you to hold the baby because the mom has been holding the baby all day, so actually handing out the baby is amazing? Or is she still a little tender, and so actually what she wants you to do is the dishes? You know, like if you see that big pile of dishes. Charge. Exactly.
Of saying, you know what, I think this would be good.
Yeah, I think this would be good. You know, she's a little sensitive right now. Text the partner. That I would recommend.
I like that. Yeah.
Mom's so all over the place. Text the partner to be like, is it good to stop by? Not the mom necessarily. We've got a couple people joining. Monica. Oh, and we've got Nikki Kent. We've got Thanks, Nikki. Saying Sally's best advice to her was to don't be afraid to use a nipple shield. It's like training wheels for your nipples and won't confuse the baby at all. Can you talk more about nipple shields?
Okay, nipple shields. Some people will scowl when I say this, but
we're talking about breastfeeding then.
I really love nipple shields because we go to these conferences and we hear, don't use a nipple shield, it's going to harm your supply. And the truth of the matter is, I used to avoid them, and now I embrace them. And the reason for that is because there are sometimes bumps in the road, either super sore nipples or really engorgement where the baby has a really hard time latching on. And the nipple shield is brilliant. I mean, it works great. It gives the mother a little bit of a breather if the nipple shield feels more comfortable, or it gives her a little time if the breast is engorged. Because what is the alternative? Well, the alternative would be to pump. Because you have to keep the baby fed and the breast empty in order to keep the whole process running. So to use a nipple shield, basically the mom is learning how to hold the baby. The baby is learning that the breast is a place where he or she gets milk. And then when things settle down, the mom treads water for a little while, uses the nipple shield as training wheels. Then basically we just remove one variable. And that's the nipple shield, as opposed to pumping, giving a baby a bottle, and a baby learns this is what it feels like to eat, and then you put them to the breast, and then they think, what are we doing here? Yeah. So it's I for that reason I love the nipple shield. And I listened to this talk recently. And there was a huge study done, and they looked at mothers who used nipple shields and mothers who didn't, and they found that babies gained weight just as well with a nipple shield.
That's such good. So as Nikki can attest to, for sure.
So and again, I always think there's something to everything, so I always tuck it in the back of my head, and I do remind mothers that nipple shields are a barrier. There is something between your nipple and the baby's mouth, and every body is different. So we just keep that in mind. Yeah.
That's awesome. A couple amazing questions from our Facebook audience. Stacy says, I think my baby uses me as a human pacifier. Been there. Mm-hmm. And is there any way to know if he's still nursing? And she says, aside from listening to the swallow sound, because he's kind of quiet. So can you tell if you're just being sucked on versus being fed from other than the swallow sound?
Okay. I don't know how old your baby is. Do we know how old your baby is?
Stacey, if you can comment how old the baby is, and we'll be able to maybe give you a little more concrete advice. And we'll jump to Angelina. Actually, she says, my 7-month-old is cutting teeth and starting to bite. How do I get to make sure that he doesn't keep her from biting me while nursing?
Okay, has the baby bitten before? I'm not sure.
She says she's starting to bite as she's cutting these teeth. So.
Okay, just remember that when we're teething, if you were getting a whole new set of teeth, your gums would be really painful. So to make sure that you're using cool things, giving your baby things to chew on. And when a baby is nursing, their tongue is over their bottom teeth, so they can't get teeth together. So we need to be super careful about watching, is the baby feeding, or is she not feeding and maybe getting a little funny. So I had a situation with my son where I did get bitten, and he didn't mean it, but it was the end of the feed, and he just kind of clamped down for comfort. So we have to watch. So the best advice is just watch what your baby's doing, and after that, I was very careful to make sure when he was falling asleep, I would take him off.
Super smart. Or getting distracted.
Or getting distracted, or if I felt like it was going to happen.
Okay.
But the other thing is, remember that if you think they're going to bite, this is going to sound barbaric, but it's really a good strategy.
I love the premise.
But our instincts are to pull somebody, pull pain away from you. But if you bring them in, if you think she's going to bite, just bring her in a little bit close. Her nose is going to get blocked, and she's going to be surprised, and she's going to release and want to move away.
Oh, I love that.
So it's gentle. You bring them in, though. Yeah. And they want to move away. So
I think
it's helpful.
That's perfect. Yeah. And so definitely watching them, and that's sort of a hard thing, because at 7 months, you kind of feel like you've actually hit your groove and you can start to zone out, but I guess you got to start to engage again.
Right.
So going back to Stacy, she says her baby's 3.5, so this months old. So this was the question of, are you a human pacifier or
all right?
Are you the
3.5-month-old? Okay, so 3.5 months old. She's going to start getting distracted. So if she loves breastfeeding, that's a really good thing that she loves to be with you. But she's going to start turning her focus outward very soon.
Yeah.
So when babies are first born, they really just want to tuck in. They just want to. You're everything. Basically, you're all their favorite activities in one.
Yes.
Okay, but the thing is, if you put your baby on one side for 10 to 15 minutes and then take them off, and if they're still interested in feeding, put them on the other side for 10 to 15 minutes. After that time, the vast majority of the breast milk is delivered, so you've done your job, and you can decide, do I want this baby to be, or am I comfortable? Is this working? She can stay there for longer. If not, it's perfectly fine to take your baby away. A pacifier is just that. It's a pacifier. It delivers nothing. It doesn't confuse babies. And it's soothing.
Yeah.
So if a baby, if sucking is soothing, because sucking isn't just about food, it's about relaxation. So I feel really comfortable about recommending a pacifier after the baby is clean. We know the baby is clean, we know the baby's warm, and we know the baby's fed. And then after 10 or 15 minutes on either side, you can feel pretty confident.
I love that. Okay, so Stacy, just maybe monitoring the clock a bit, and then we'll be able to go from there. No, but I like that. 15 minutes, 15 minutes. Right. And then you can kind of be like, all right, you're probably just hanging out on me. And if we're good, we're good.
Right.
And Stacy also to say, I now have a 15-month-old, and she does not like to snuggle on me anymore. So I know you're in a place where you want to put the baby down, but I'm like, hold on to that baby.
I know. Yeah.
It's so short, because I remember where you are, though. I completely empathize. So another question is, what's the gear that you recommend for new moms? What do you like? If you're going to breastfeed, I want these things in your home.
Okay, breastfeed or go back to work or both?
Let's do baby's born, and then let's go back to work.
Okay, super simple. We think we need everything, and we really need very few things. I would say I love the muslin blankets because they're soft, they're big. You have a lot of ability to wrap a baby up, even if you're not a great swaddler, and it takes a little bit of time. So there's lots of fabric for error. So swaddles. I would say breast pads in case you're leaking.
Yep.
A very comfortable bra that is going to support you enough so that you're comfortable, but loose enough that your body can sort of adjust during the engorgement phase. Let's see, what else? I would say a rice sock would be great, because a rice sock you can put in, you can warm it up, and a little bit of heat before feeding can help make milk move. Mm-hmm. And cold packs. So I like those blue gel cold packs for afterwards, because after delivery, our breasts have extra milk because it doesn't know how many babies we have here, so your body's calibrating. And so the cold will make the fluid move away from the tissue, so your breasts are more comfortable. You can leave that on for as long as it feels good. And also ibuprofen, I would have that at home, because ibuprofen, great anti-inflammatory in the system all the time, is great because it just works real well.
You need some pain relief, some self-care, Mom.
Absolutely. yeah, totally. And what else? The swaddles, again, remember, babies that come out of a bag, they're in your body, they're all snuggled up. It's very familiar. You need a clean diaper and a lot of swaddles. A couple t-shirts maybe, and it's really super
easy.
Yeah.
And then for work, what would you say are your
for work, I would say a good quality breast pump, and then I would go, whatever you choose, I would go with that system for simplicity's sake. So everything screws into the right thing, so that all the nipples fit, and you don't have to think about does this one fit with this one. So I would say choose a system and go with it. And then let's see, a good nursing bras. I would say get one before you deliver, have somebody fit it, and then you see where you are. But generally, your breasts will sort of land where you are when you're pregnant. So you have your normal breasts, and then your pregnant breasts, and then engorgement breasts, don't get a bra then because it'll be too big, and then it'll settle into your pregnant breast.
And then it's your post-nursing breasts, which are like a whole other thing. Last question we have, I think, before we gotta let you go. And thank you guys again. Everyone who's submitted awesome comments are entered in for this amazing giveaway from Nano Bebe. So really appreciate that. We'll go over all of the goodies in there. So Brittany Carroll says, I have a 1-week-old and we are finally getting the hang of nursing. When can I start introducing spice into my diet? There's not a lot of spice, just a little bit. I'm nervous about upsetting the babies.
Oh, just eat normally and healthily. When you were pregnant, whatever you ate worked, right? You ate it and you grew a baby just without thinking about it. Go to like India, go to Mexico. Tell those women not to eat spicy food. Eat normally, eat healthily, and your baby will love it. She'll love you for it. And the other thing is garlic. There are all kinds of myths. People all over the world, have ideas about what foods you should include and what foods you should avoid. But the truth of the matter is, there's something to everything. But gassy foods don't make gassy babies, spicy foods, babies love. They did a study on garlic because women were told don't drink garlic, eat garlic
or whatever. Yeah.
No, because they said that it would make babies gassy.
Oh.
And they did it, and babies drank more milk and for longer. So their conclusion was babies love garlic.
That's my kind of baby.
Yeah.
I love
so
garlic.
Please, yes, I know.
No, it's funny, and I actually can totally attest to that because I started Avery on solid foods, and we'd be giving her broccoli or sweet potatoes or chicken, and my girlfriend finally, I was like, she doesn't like anything, she doesn't like eating it, and she was like, what are you seasoning with it? And I was like, oh, don't worry, I'm not seasoning it. And she was like, did you eat unseasoned food while you were pregnant or while you were breastfeeding?
Exactly.
I was like, no.
Right,
she was like, she likes, I put smoked paprika on it, the kid ate anything. It was like salt and paprika and red pepper flakes, and now all of a sudden she's the best eater because she doesn't like bland foods.
Right, and the bottom line is happy mothers make happy babies all across the board.
So if you miss...
Please.
Yeah, if you miss having some spice in your diet, you just go for it.
Right, and call me if it's a problem, because I'll talk to you. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, we'll include Sally's information. So what we'll do now, I think we're going to wrap up here. Thank you so much, Sally.
My pleasure.
Again, Sally MacFadyen is in our lovely Burlington, Vermont area, a board-certified lactation consultant, childbirth educator, a doula, just your go-to person if you're having a baby, had a baby, breastfeeding a baby. We absolutely adore her. And we so appreciate you coming in and working with us today. Keep commenting questions and we can maybe shoot them over to Sally and get some responses on those so we can still respond to those. And I'm sure we might have you back for another Pumpcast in the future. But thank you again. And our winner for our giveaway is Stacy Yang Segura. We will DM your information to us and we can get this Nano Bebe kit over to you, please. Thank you all so much for joining us. Ta-tas for now.